Hello and welcome back to another tier list video. Now today is a very exciting episode, however it is just me as my now two co-presenters are missing as they have actually eloped and are now in the Swiss Alps. I hope they have a wonderful time. But anyway, we have a fantastic
Say
show.
no more. I am not in the Swiss Alps. I'm still single.
So anyway, as I was saying, we are doing zombies. Did I say that?
You didn't.
We are doing zombies.
We're saying it now.
Zombies, of course, being the game genre that will not die, especially during that sort of 2010s period where every game, you were tripping over zombie games. Literally, they could not make enough.
You know what? Ironically, I do think it died for a bit, but then it got resurrected.
Annoyingly, that's true. So, today we have a bunch of zombie games, some franchises over games, so we're going to be discussing them on like a franchise basis, even though some of these may be one-offs. So hopefully we cover a broad enough scope of the zombie game realm. So, first one, let's do this. The Last of Us. Now this is a contentious one in general because people didn't like the sequel. After not playing either game, but extensively looking into the games because they were so big hits and everything, and there was a lot of discussion about it. From what I can tell, the consensus on the first game is that it's excellent.
Well, so this is the beautiful thing because I've actually played the first game, and not only that, I still play it every now and again multiplayer with a couple of friends.
Okay, yeah.
Because in its multiplayer gameplay, it is quite unique. Like there's nothing really like that experience of playing Last of Us because it's very stealth-like and you can't just like run and gun even though.
So are you telling me they made a stealth deathmatch game that actually vaguely works?
Yeah, it actually
that's
works really
quite
well.
impressive because that's never been done before.
Exactly. So
people have tried.
They've tried, but
Yeah.
it always sucks.
Yeah, it does.
This game actually does it really well.
It always sucks.
However, regarding the story, I do have to say I think people have a lot of nostalgia goggles when looking back at this game.
Which is amazing because it only came out in like 2013.
Yeah, I mean, I played the game through maybe last year, and honestly, like the relationship that people claim Joel and Ellie really have, I think isn't quite there. I know this is like thin ice that I'm treading on.
Yeah.
But it's not quite there. It's more of like a back and forth banter more than anything, but I think people like to hype it up a little bit more than it is. So, in terms of ranking, I think it is a very good game.
Yep.
I still get a lot of fun out of it.
Yep.
The second game kind of sours the first one.
Yeah.
In many ways. I still think it's either a low A or a high B.
Yeah, I think that
I
sounds
say
fair.
low A. I think low A is
I
fair.
think sort of around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last of Us, the second game, a bit more contentious. From what I can tell, the second game, even if it might not have executed flawlessly, it had some interesting ideas that I appreciate in terms of broadening the narrative scope of what can be done in a video game and what's usually done. But Last of Us, there you go. You make it to at least not down here where other games will inevitably end up. Speaking of which, Days Gone. Have you played Days Gone?
I haven't. I do have a friend who streamed it on Twitch.
Okay.
And I've watched it through quite a lot.
Okay.
And a lot of the stuff in Days Gone actually looks really cool.
Does it? Because I think it looks very, very boring.
Okay. Okay, well there we start. So first of all it's an open board.
Open world?
It's an open world zombies game where you travel around on a motorbike. There's the standard crafting and killing zombies and stuff, and collecting stuff, doing missions here and there. It's not unlike any of the Elder Scrolls game, except there is no magic. There is a motorbike, and it's all zombies.
Okay, so you see, I actually hate the Elder Scrolls games.
Okay, well, you might not like this then.
So, have you? So I assume you watched some of the story, some of the cutscenes.
Some of the story, yeah.
Because some of those cutscenes just seem embarrassing.
Yes.
And if there's anything I kind of hate in video games, it's the homogenization of everything, where every game has zombies and crafting, and it's an open world, even though it might not need to be.
And flashbacks to when times were good and your wife was still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is the kind of game built for me to hate.
I don't think it's a bad game though. I think
It's
it has a couple of
probably
things going for it.
it's probably exceedingly okay.
Yeah. So I think
Middle C,
Middle
like
C.
here.
I don't think it would go lower than middle C.
It doesn't seem we are very
These are so floppy.
we're very limp today. Dead Rising. I have a love-hate relationship with this series.
Right.
I have drawn Frank West's beautiful, disgusting head. Have you played many of the Dead Rising games?
I have played exactly none of them.
Okay, I have played 1, I've played 2, some of the DLC spin-offs, and I've dipped my toes in the later games.
Right.
So, Dead Rising is an exceedingly frustrating game
I see.
where the world is like really, really intricately made, where a lot of open world games have corridors and paths and just whole areas where absolutely nothing is.
Right.
And it's useless and it's just not, you have no reason to go there. But Dead Rising does a fantastic thing where you want to explore because every nook and cranny has something hidden for you to find and it will actually impact the gameplay.
Oh.
The story is always shit. It's always bad. It's kind of like, it kind of plays into it because no matter how you dress your character up, he shows up in the cutscenes looking like that. Right. So I think they know it's not very good and they're just sort of, they're okay with it, they let it ride.
Who plays a zombie game for the story mode?
True, but also the later games.
I mean, this one not included, obviously.
Yeah, but so the first 2 games were, in their tone, they played this line, which they did quite well, where the setting was quite serious, but then the minute details could get quite silly. Right. It's a very scary big zombie apocalypse. People are dying everywhere. It's very dramatic and sad. But then your character goes and picks up a Mega Man arm cannon and a dildo and just starts beating zombies with it. And it's quite funny. And there's a lot of humor in the games. And then Dead Rising 3 happened. And now there is no longer any humor in Dead Rising. And it is just every generic zombie game that has ever been made ever. However, I do think it has its merits. It's obviously the unique selling point has always been the amount of zombies on screen, which in the days of the 360 was actually something you should care about. Nowadays, with like Days Gone, that basically took the whole
you can easily find like
zombie.
a horde of 50
exactly.
zombies at least. I
think it deserves a solid B.
Okay.
Because the first 2 games are great. They have their problems, but they are good.
I'll take your word for it.
But it definitely is a series that went downhill.
Yeah.
Speaking of things, actually, to be fair, this didn't even go downhill. This never went uphill. Daisy. Oh, Daisy.
If you're going to talk about zombie games, you're going to have to talk about Daisy.
Have you played much of Daisy?
I haven't played Daisy. I have played the original Arma 2 mod. Okay. Which, let's be honest, is really the only one worth playing.
I've played both.
Okay.
Extensively.
Okay.
The tone of this video has sort of gone funeral mode as we talk about Daisy, because we talked about Days Gone as being the epitome of every generic zombie game ever. Mm-hmm. Daisy is the epitome and one of the worst cases of games where you piss about in a bush. You spawn on a random piece of the coastline. Yep. If you want to meet up with your friends, you need to look up a map online to find out where the hell you are. And then you need to spend 45 minutes to an hour running down the coastline, and you will probably just die and have to restart that cycle over again. And then even when you do meet up with your friends, it's a miserable experience of broken AI, buggy surroundings, nothing working. It's an abysmal experience, and it was mismanaged to the highest degree.
Which is very sad because the original intention was pure. Like the Arma 2 mod had so much going for it.
It had so much potential of here is an interesting idea that has never been even like thought of or attempted before. Yeah. And then Daisy thought, we can make a fresh start, we can do things right. And then they just copied exactly what Arma 2 did, except they added more bugs and then zucchini farming.
which isn't really interesting. Okay,
I hate DayZ.
are we judging the game or the original mod? Because I think they're two.
This is the game.
Then
That's the
entirely
game.
fair. Actually,
Yeah.
could be even lower. But
Could be
I
even
don't
lower.
think
But
anything is
yeah,
gonna be,
nothing we have is going to go lower than
I don't
that.
think anything we have is actually F tier.
I love this.
I love this as well.
I love Call of Duty Zombies.
It has a bad rep.
It has a
but
bad rep, but that's just because people are haters to whatever's popular.
That's true, and also I don't know about you guys, but I'm still of that generation as well. Where like, you know, you're in middle school and like these kids have their iPods with like
Yeah.
Call of Duty Zombies on them, like playing. What's the level name? I forgot.
Nax de Untoten.
Yeah, it's just nostalgic like that.
Yeah.
And the maps have only gotten better over time. I have a friend actually who like has a YouTube channel where he's playing through all of the zombie maps.
Yeah.
Pretty much chronologically at this point. He's at Black Ops 4, which is where it kind of gets a little bit more dull, but they still have really cool things going.
The thing that I like about Zombies is that although it changes over time, I feel like the things they change do appeal to somebody new.
Yes.
So, for example, I am very much a classic sort of like World at War and Black Ops 1 Zombies player.
Yes.
I get kind of uninterested when the maps become super complicated.
Yeah.
But there are some people who thrive in those maps and they love exploring and learning everything new.
And finding every little Easter egg. And what's most impressive to me about this entire thing is throughout at least World at War and all of the Black Opses, it has a continuous story.
The thing that is interesting about the story is that a lot of it is kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
The storytelling it goes for is nowadays reminiscent of the storytelling that this is a weird comparison I'm going to make.
Sure, go for it.
Considering that I don't even like the games, but it's kind of reminiscent of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's very environmental. There are things that you have to try and search for and look for in the map and the presentation. And you can, especially in those early games,
Yeah.
you have to piece together the puzzle of what happened and like how the story is progressing. I think there's a lot to love in Call of Duty Zombies.
Oh yeah.
I think this is honestly like,
I know this might be a bit like extreme.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same.
I genuinely think this is,
I think right here,
yeah.
because like
There might be a better game out there, but there might not.
it's like it's not trying to be the best and the biggest thing in the world, but what it tries to do, it kind of nails.
Absolutely.
And I hate the fact that I'm saying that about Call of Duty because I'm very anti-establishment and Call of Duty is about as
This was a different
establishment as you can get.
Yeah.
But I mean, Zombies is what it is. I still play Zombies to this day with my friends. Something that I don't really play too much anymore. However, I do think it has a very, very special place in gaming and especially in zombie games,
Yes.
is the Left 4 Dead series. Kind of killed by Valve.
Yes.
It is the co-op shooter.
It is very good. I remember playing this a lot when I was younger, especially the second one.
The second one was basically just like an expansion pack and like refining of the first game.
Yes, and also opened itself up to Community Workshop.
That too. Also,
which really bred
think-
life into this.
I think is that what introduced the versus mode where you play as the zombies?
Do you know what? I don't remember this. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, but there is a versus mode where you get to play as the zombies and it's humans versus zombies. But Left 4 Dead defined co-op shooters in a way that ruined the industry for a good number of years.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the sign of a fantastic game.
There's the sign of a game where it set a standard that no one could get anywhere near.
Yeah, like, and the level of polish and everything on it
Yeah.
is like, it really did have that Valve shine on it. Although it's a very small window in time, because the first game and the second game came out very soon after each other, the impact the games had on everything is huge,
Yes.
right? I think it deserves at least here, maybe here.
I'm willing to let it go here, to be absolutely honest with you.
Yeah.
Because it might be nostalgia talking, but I love it.
I think Zombies has it on variety and longevity.
Yeah, and nostalgia.
And yeah, but I think for what it does, that is a more polished experience than Zombies, but I think Zombies offers more for longer.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm going to talk about a video game that only I've played.
He's talking about Stubbs the Zombie again.
For some reason, I've talked about this like 4 times on this channel.
Don't know why.
I don't know why.
This series alone, like, at least.
Stubbs the Zombie released on the original Xbox, the Xbox Live Arcade on the 360, and confusingly, recently on the Switch. It's just a classic video game. It's not. It has nothing that Days Gone has. It's like an actual video game. It's a video game with like a story and levels that you play through, and you play as a zombie, and you can rip off your hand, and like you can make your hand crawl around and possess people.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty good. I think it deserves like here. I'm not gonna lie and say it was like a era-defining game. I don't think it has the level. Yeah, I love the design of Stubbs the Zombie. I'm gonna put it right here. It's just a good video game, and if you have the chance to play it, I think you should at least try it. Resident Evil has been all over the place.
Yep.
Resident Evil's been here, it's been here, it's been here, it's been here, it's been everywhere.
According to some, it may have even hit up here, but maybe only once.
Yeah, so Resident Evil has an interesting history where it started off with some absolutely classic genre-defining first games.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil 1 and 2 did so much for the PlayStation, it did so much for horror games. And then Resident Evil 4 came along, did the same thing. It revolutionized horror games. It took a new tone. It took a more light-hearted tone, but also pushed the horror.
Yeah.
Made it a little more grotesque even with the chainsaw guy, which was, I think, the highlight of Resi 4 for a lot of people. And then Resident Evil 5 happened, and it's like, okay, where's this going? Then Resident Evil 6 happened.
And it's like, okay, well.
It's like, oh no. And then Resident Evil 7 came along and did what the first game and Resident Evil 4 did. And that is go back to basics, see what works, try something a little bit new, and it paid off, and it worked. And Resident Evil 8, it just continued. It's like, I think Resi 8 is what Resi 2 is to 1.
Yeah, it's just
what it is
directly
to 7.
follows up.
Yeah, it's just that kind of thing where it's more of the same, but like tries a few new things.
Yeah. Also, we're just skipping the remasters.
Oh yeah, I mean those were great. Sure. People love those.
Sure.
Essentially, Resident Evil has been all over the place. It has had some real stinkers, real stinkers, but has also had some amazing genre-defining highlights.
Yeah, and more than anything, I like an underdog story. It made the comeback.
I think overall, it deserves to be here.
I think it's definitely like better regarded than Last of Us.
Yeah, it can't really go in S tier.
No.
Because if you have Resident Evil 6 in your repertoire, you're not going to get an S tier.
No.
But I think high A tier, it's done a whole lot for a whole lot of people. Something that I don't want to say about Dead Island. We are at odds here.
We are at odds. I really like Dead Island. Now, mind you, I haven't played Dead Island Riptide because
no one has.
I have played the first one quite a bit. I haven't finished it, but I played it quite a bit, and I enjoyed it pretty much every time I played it.
Okay.
The initial way that I got it was because it was a PlayStation Plus exclusive at some point.
Yeah.
And I played it with a friend through, and honestly, there's just something so fun about like finding a car like abandoned somewhere and just go like, hey, let's go run over zombies right now.
Okay. I bought this on release.
Okay.
I finished it. I also played quite a large chunk of it with a friend. I do not like this game.
Okay.
This game sucks.
Go on, why?
So you only get guns in like the last third of the game.
So?
Which is fine, because you have melee weapons. Yeah. Except the melee weapons all play the same, and they all break within 3 swings, or if you sniff on it, or anything, everything breaks all the time.
Well, it breaks, but that's because stuff breaks when you bash it over someone's head.
The characters are either horribly underwritten or, in Sam B's case, embarrassing with his terrible, terrible song, Who Do You Voodoo Bitch?
Oh yeah,
I remember that song. Me and my friends still joke about Who Do You Voodoo Bitch.
that is not a great song.
I just remember laughing at its expense
Yeah.
more than enjoying the game in the way it was trying to get me to enjoy it.
Oh no, but I'm not arguing that. I don't know if the game is meant to be serious or not. But at the end of the day, like playing it, even if I'm not meant to have fun in the way
Yeah.
that it meant for me to, I still had fun with it.
I do think the game is trying to be like, it's not 100% serious, obviously. It would be a
Yeah.
lie if I said it was. However, I do think it tries to be more serious than any reasonable human can take it.
Yes.
I think you can have fun with this if you play with a friend and you set your expectations on the floor and you just think, let's just fucking play a zombie game that is very stupid. I think you can have some fun, although it might be limited, because a lot of the quests also are very tedious, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Although it does have a little variety in guns and vehicles and stuff.
It does. Well, I'll be honest. In terms of vehicles, there's little to no variety.
Yeah, but I
Like,
mean,
they're all the
in
same
terms of the
car.
fact that they exist.
They exist, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like the weapons, I do think make some level of difference because not everything is made from the same material. Like a pipe will last you longer than a paddle.
Yeah.
Will also do somewhat more damage. It doesn't matter because the most fun thing to do is kick the zombies anyway down the set of stairs.
True, that is true.
You know, just
can
like
kick
a
the
horde of them,
zombies.
go up the stairs, make them follow you, and then just like, you know.
That is the best part of the game.
So
I would put it here.
I would put it at least here.
I think
At
we
the
need.
very least.
I think we need to go here because
Yes.
I cannot put it in B.
Okay.
I cannot, with an honest heart, put it in B. Not even low B. High C, top of C is the best I can offer.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It is what it is.
This is our zombie list. It has been completed.
Yeah.
I hope you agree in some regards. If you don't, let us know how. Like the video if you did. If you hate our list, then give me your own list. I want to see
Yeah.
you do better. You can't. You won't. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more. We are always here. Well, I am.
Except for me.
Ron isn't.
Because I am out. Away with me.
Now you are just stuck with me. I'll see you again next week. Stay safe, gamers.